I welcome you to Gradeup. I am Saral. I hope I am clearly audible to you and visible as well. Welcome to this session that I'm taking today, which is on how to read NCERT books, right? So we'll talk about this in detail. Before that, I'll just want to know, am I clearly audible to all of you? Is there any problem? Is the screen visible to you? I mean, no problems. Please confirm this. Hi, Suren. Hello. Hi, Saurabh. A very good evening. Okay, hi Sony, hello, hi Satyam, a very good evening to you as well. Good evening Divansh, good evening Prerna, good evening Uday, audible and no problems. Good evening Quantum Gaming, oh what a name, great. Okay, Prerna Bhagat says, yes, I am audible, so great guys. So I hope things are okay now. So I'm sure that many of you would have seen the yesterday's session as well, in which I discussed about the schedule of February to November, and I'm not very sure whether that Excel is uploaded or not. So I told you that that Excel would be uploaded there. So I've just talked about gone through your yesterday's lecture. Okay, Rajshri. So possibly हो सकता है कि वो ना रहा हो फिलहाल वो जो Excel file है. I have talked to the content team. So the guy had some emergency. So he said that okay, it'll be done soon. So I don't know whether it has been done right now or not. Where should I prepare LRDI basic? Sheikh Shakur. So we talked about this yesterday. Okay? I told you that previous year papers are the best possible source for you for these LRDI practice. And obviously you can take any test series, Gradeup test series you can take, that you'll be getting 30 marks plus the sectional test as well. Hello Pradeep, hello Palak, good evening. Nishu, good evening. Khushi, good evening all of you. A very good evening guys. So Saurabh has some doubts. What kind of doubts, Saurabh? I think we cannot take the doubts at the cost of the today's topic. But yes, if there is any specific doubt which is based upon these topics only, we can definitely go with that. Good evening, Kavya and Gulab. Okay guys, so let's start now. So what exactly is NCERT when I say so? I mean, I just figured this out that when I talked about that reading NCERT, the way I talked about this in yesterday's class. So many people said, what is NCERT? Though I was a bit shocked to say this. So NCERT is National Council for Education Research and Training. But I think that people who are from CBSE background, so they don't do NCERT books. They have some different books. Probably that was the case. Because of that they didn't know about it. So my basically when I say NCERT here, my purpose is to say that any textbooks of your school time, 8th, 9th, 10th ka, and you are not supposed to do that RS Agrawal or RD Sharma or no, you are not appearing for these IIT exams, so don't worry about that. Our job is only to do as much is required for CAT, right? So we will be talking about those only. It is primarily needed for those people who are a bit weak in mathematics, because this is a general query for us. बहुत स्टूडेंट्स आगे बोलते हैं सर मेरा क्वांट बहुत वीक है तो मैं कैसे प्रिपेयर करूं. सो इफ यू फील दैट योर मैथमेटिक्स इज वीक, आई वुड सजेस्ट everyone start with NCERT, not only if your quant is weak, even if it is on an average level, even if it is above average, right? Still I would say start with NCERT books of class 8th, 9th and 10th. Why so? We will talk about this today. ठीक है, यही हम बात करने वाले हैं आज. I'm unable to download the NCERT PDF. There is a chapter wise division and no download option available. Prerna must be there because I have downloaded it from NCERT website only. So please see whether it is the right website that you are looking for. If not, if you don't find it, you can always join Gradeup's Telegram channel. You put your doubt there. I'll put down all the files over there. I have all those files with me. Face problems while solving blood relations. So Saurabh, I understand, but you will have to do a lot of practice and you have to attend some sessions on that then. Okay? Okay, some more people are having some doubts. Good evening, Sonia. क्या आप मैट भी प्रिपरेशन कराते हैं? Yes, Pinky, we have I mean batches for non-CAT exams as well. Grade up class plan is different from yesterday's study plan. So Ankit, as I told you that that study plan is for complete year for all the kids. So obviously that class plan is according to different batches. So वो batch wise change होता रहता है. So that study plan is for you to study. That was the point. It is not obviously that that if we start a batch in February, we will go by my study plan. That is for you to study basically. Do we require class 6 and 7 NCERT too? If you feel that you are afraid of mathematics or you are too weak at it, Nishu, go for that. Okay, Kiran says good evening, Debrati, good evening, and Yash is saying there is an app of NCERT which can be downloaded from Play Store. So as someone was asking, Prerna probably was asking, so Prerna, there is an app, okay? So please download it. You will get it from there. Okay guys, so let's start with this now. So the first thing that I want to discuss here is this, right? We are running this February Mela currently. So if you take a 12 months or 18 months subscription of Gradeup Super, the first EMI would be at 20% off and the second EMI would be of 1 rupee, that you can see here, these two things, right? So ultimately, if I look at the price of 12 month super subscription, it is 20,000. First EMI 8,000, 20% discount becomes 6,400. Second EMI 1 rupee and third EMI is of 8,000. So basically, ultimately you have to pay 14,001 only. Similarly, the same thing happens with 18 months as well. First EMI 20% off, second EMI 1 rupee, third EMI of 10,000. What is Gradeup Super? I'll come to that as well. And guys, please like these sessions, comment on it, whatever doubts you have, because I know many of your doubts I won't be able to take during the session because sometimes they go, away from the topic. So taking those doubts would not be easy. You can always comment on the videos later. I'll definitely answer there. And please share it with the people who are appearing for these exams. And subscribe to Gradeup channel. You'll keep on getting all this information there. Okay. Okay. So many people are saying this app is available. NCERT is just for mathematics. Yes, Nishu. For mathematics only. Just type NCERT book. Okay. Maths with the syllabus. 10 Chinmaya, I'm sorry, today I am not taking such doubts. Okay, today I am going to talk about this only. Okay, all books are available, says Devansh. Good evening, Abhinav Modi. Let's move ahead, guys. So now the first thing is, why should I read it? That's a basic question that you also would be having in your mind. कि सर आप NCERT करने के लिए बोलते क्यों हैं? What is so specific about NCERT books, right? So I say to all the kids that please do these books of NCERT from class 8th, 9th and 10th. Okay, class 8th, 9th and 10th. I mean for the guys who feel that they are too weak at mathematics, go for 6th, 7th as well. But these are must for all, right? Now, while doing these books, you might feel, sir, this is probably not needed. We are not that bad at mathematics. आपको लग रहा है आप हमारे बारे में गलत सोच रहे हैं, but इतने बुरे हम नहीं हैं that we have to do this. Okay, I'll ask you a question. I'm asking all of you this question. Please answer this. Root 4, it is equal to plus 2 or it is equal to plus minus 2? I want to look at this answer from all of you guys. Hi, good evening, Kalash. Good evening, Vijay. So please answer this question. This is a question to each and every one of you. Root 4 is equal to plus 2 or root 4 is equal to plus minus 2. Which one is correct? Gulab says plus 2, Nishu says plus minus 2, Murlidhar says plus minus 2, Muskan says plus minus. All for plus minus, Kalash plus minus, Chinmaya plus minus, Debrati, okay, Palak. Everyone is saying plus minus except 2 people till now. Everyone is saying plus minus. If I look at YouTube, Saurabh says plus 2, Vaibhav says plus minus, Khushi says plus 2, Saurabh says plus 2, Bhavna says plus 2, and Rajeshri says plus minus, Suren says plus minus, Uday Luthra says plus minus, right? So, okay. I think that around 80% of the people on the app, they are saying plus minus 2. 50% of the people on YouTube are saying plus minus 2. 50% are saying plus 2. So now let me give you the answer. It will be surprising for you that answer is plus 2. It is not plus minus 2. This is mentioned in class 8th NCERT book. This is mentioned in class 8th NCERT book. This is an important concept for CAT's perspective. That means we need to do NCERT book, guys. right? So it is not that sir CAT questions NCERT book में से थोड़ी आ जाएंगे, though there might be, I'm not saying there cannot be, but the point is NCERT books are needed to clear your fundamentals. When you ask us, sir, how do I improve quant? Obviously work on your fundamentals. Sir, how do I work on fundamentals? Go to NCERT. No, sir, that is for 8, 9, 10. I am not appearing for 8, 9, 10. Why should I do that? Just read these books and you'll get an idea. They will start from the scratch and they will tell you everything about that topic. You don't know what is a quadratic equation, probably. You just know that there is a formula for that. Where from that formula came? What is quadratic equation? What are roots? Unless and until you know those things, you cannot answer many of the questions on quadratic, because you will just cram the formulas and there you will lack, right? Why it is plus 2? This reason is mentioned in NCERT book, right? And see, 80% of you have answered it wrong. So that means there is a need of it. That's exactly what I was saying. You should do this, right? This exactly proves my point that the answer should be plus 2, whereas many people have said plus minus 2. Okay, let me ask you another question. एक और पूछता हूं मैं आपसे. What is pi? It is 22/7 or it is 3.14. What is pi? It is 22/7 or 3.14. Let me see that who all answer it correctly. Pi is 22/7 or 3.14. Guys, please answer whatever answer you have got about this. So now Saurabh says 3.14. Okay, 22/7 both. Okay, 3.14, 22/7 both 22/7, 3.14, 3.14 both 22/7. Both are correct. 3.14, 22/7. So Harshita says no one of it. Gulab says none of it, right? Otherwise everyone is saying either 22/7 or 3.14. Bhavna says 3.14. Prerna Bhagat says 22/7. Uday Luthra says 3.14. Barun Bishwas says 22/7. Khushi Vat says 22/7. So okay, again 95% of you are saying 22/7 or 3.14, whereas the answer is none. Gulab is correct, Harshita is correct, and I think these are the only two people who answered it correctly out of 50 odd answers that we have got. 50-60 answers आए हमारे पास, उसमें से only 2 people have said that none of them is correct, right? Nishu also says this, right? Yes, Nishu, yes, I saw that. So I saw that 95% of you are still wrong about it. Where is it mentioned? NCERT book. Root 4 is what? Pi is what? This is mentioned there. What are rational numbers? Why q cannot be equal to 0 in a rational number? Sum of two rational numbers, what can it be? Sum of two irrational numbers, what can it be? So there are many such things. These all are mentioned in NCERT book. So if you want to improve your basics, not only for CAT, for any exam that you are appearing, whether you are appearing for SSC, Bank PO or IAS exam, because there also we have general studies nowadays. Any exam where quantitative aptitude is there, NCERT is the key. Trust me. Do these 3 books of NCERT class 8th, 9th and 10th thoroughly. And when you do them thoroughly, I bet on it, you will definitely be good at mathematics. At least you will have that confidence that, okay, I can do this. Till date, we are thinking of it that mathematics is something probably it's not my cup of tea. I cannot ever do it. Just read these books, guys. You will get an idea. कितना आसान है ये. And the best part about these is a class 8th book is written for 8th kids. It is not written for the kids who are preparing for MBA. They didn't write it from the perspective of कि कल को बच्चे MBA करेंगे हमारी book पढ़ेंगे. A class 9th book, it is written for 9th kids. Class 10th book, it is written for 10th kids. The language used in these chapters is so easy. The examples used are so easy that you can easily understand those things. Maths क्यों पसंद नहीं है? Because we are not able to solve the questions, right? We are not able to understand it. Start reading these books. You will understand everything. तो फिर अच्छा लगेगा ना? Every subject, that subject which you can understand, which you can solve, वो अच्छा लगता है. The subjects which we cannot solve, the questions we cannot solve, वो हमें बुरा लगता है. That's a simple logic that we have. Therefore, do these NCERT books. So at least pick up those. I am sure आई एम वेरी श्योर अबाउट दिस कि आपको ये जरूर लगा होगा दैट ओके एट द स्कूल टाइम दैट दीज वर द सेम बुक्स एट द स्कूल टाइम, जब कभी पसंद नहीं आए तो अब कहां से पसंद आ जाएंगे, व्हाट आर यू टॉकिंग अबाउट सर, दैट टाइम यू वर इन 8th 9th और 10th, that time you always wanted to play only, the career was never there in your mind, that time you just wanted to have marks in your exams, you never wanted to understand the concepts, that time for every chapter it always started for you from the point exercise 1 comes or example 1. Did you ever read the theory of 3-4 pages which is given over there? We never did that. But actually the concept lies there, the concept is actually in those areas only. So you have to do these things, right? You are feeling not confident about mathematics, start doing this guys, start doing this right now, and I can bet on it you will be better than this, right? You will definitely be better than this for sure. I mean I can definitely say this कि ये पक्का होगा ही होगा आप लोगों के साथ. But yes, you have to start. I mean, I remember this. The first day my father gave me the car, I didn't want to drive it, right? I always wanted to ride a bike. Okay? I always did that, and I liked my bike so much that I thought that I would never drive a car, because driving a bike, I mean, it is such a pleasure. So, and moreover, making a balance through the legs, I mean, that is not easy for me. I would never be able to drive a car, right? So in the initial days, actually the car was there. I never tried to drive it. So one day my father just pushed me out of the house and he said, okay, go take this car. So do whatever you want to do. Go somewhere. Okay. Hit anyone. कुछ भी करो, accident करो, कुछ भी करो, लेके जाओ. I took that car then. ठीक है. I did it for 2-3 days. So, and then I understood that what are the things, how to drive a car. I made some mistakes initially, but after some time I would understand कि ठीक है यार, ये कितना फायदा है इसमें, ठीक है. I mean, whether it is raining outside, summers, winters, this is such a good thing, है ना. I mean, you can have 4-5 people inside it. You can put a lot of stuff inside your car. बाइक में तो कुछ भी नहीं कर पा रहा था मैं, सिर्फ टशन था. I could only impress girls, nothing else. उसके लिए भी शक्ल नहीं थी, सिर्फ बाइक थी. So obviously this car was so important. So once I started driving that, then I understood. Same is the case with mathematics guys. Seriously, हम लोगों को अच्छा नहीं लगता है अभी, ठीक है. We don't want to do mathematics, but trust me, once you start doing this, then you would understand that what exactly is it. ठीक है. तो एक बार मैथमेटिक्स जब होने लग जाएगा, देन यू विल हैव अ नशा ऑफ इट, एंड देन यू विल स्टार्ट डूइंग इट, तब आराम से ही पक्का होगा. ठीक है. चलिए जी, आगे बढ़ते हैं इससे. नाउ द नेक्स्ट थिंग इज दैट वी हैव दिस क्वेश्चन. जो जस्ट आंसर दिस क्वेश्चन गाइस, जस्ट आंसर, ट्राई टू आंसर दिस. ओके. क्या क्या बोल रहे हैं आप? 8th 9th में मैथ पूरा कर लिया था. ओके. बेसिक ऑन चैप्टर 1, आई मीन फ्रॉम मैथमेटिकल अलजेब्रा. ओके ओके. यस सर डीएलआर टशन. यस you are good. Oh, thank you Saurabh. Khushi says yes. I'll thank you more Khushi rather than Saurabh. Thank you guys. And okay, so just do this question. X square is given to you, then X is what? Looks like a difficult question, right? ना मुश्किल लग रहा है ना? Such a question has appeared in CAT once. The question was, let me tell you, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. What is the square root of this number? Or x square is equal to this. So what is the value of x? That was the question. Okay. Now the important point is guys that this is a CAT level question. It is from class 8th NCERT. Exercise 6.1, 6th chapter, first exercise. This is the. Why would you not do NCERT? Now tell me this thing. करनी चाहिए कि नहीं करनी चाहिए? कैट बेस्ड क्वेश्चन अगर डायरेक्टली इसमें आ रहे हैं तो मैं क्यों नहीं करूंगा इसे? आई डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दिस पॉइंट दैट व्हाई शुड वी नॉट बी डूइंग दिस, राइट? And it's a question of first exercise of 6th chapter. I hope you remember in NCERT books, the very first exercise had the easiest questions. This is the easiest question, guys. And this was a question in that. Why shouldn't I do this? Right? Any scholarship test? Yes, Aman, we do have. I mean, we keep running these schemes. So currently there is no not any scholarship test, but yes, it will be there in soon. Oh, thank you very much, Prerna. Thanks a lot. Okay. Now the point is that I should be doing this. These are the chapters of class 8 now. Just look at these chapters. Rational numbers, linear equations, understanding quadrilaterals, practical geometry, data handling, squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots. This was even a surprise for me that when I looked at this, actually I thought of data interpretation, data handling. Actually, they are talking about bar graphs, pie charts. I always thought that I never studied these subjects in my school time. I picked up the NCERT, then I got to know, अरे यार ये तो सब NCERT में है. All these things were there in NCERT books. They start from the basics. When they talk about rational numbers, I'll just show you the chapters as well, that how do they talk about rational numbers. When they start with linear equation, I'll tell you that how do they talk about linear equations. If you look at all these chapters, I found all these chapters extremely important for CAT. Squares and square roots, cubes and cube roots. There are small things. If I ask you 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 ka square root, will it be a natural number or not? Would you be able to do it pretty fast? It's a question of 2 seconds given in 8th class NCERT book that अगर end में 7 है तो इसका मतलब इसका square root natural number नहीं आएगा. No perfect square ends with 2, 3, 7 or 8. This is given in this book. So once you have studied it, I am very sure whatever is in these 3 books, okay, though I might lose my job after saying this, but I am telling you the truth. Whatever is there in these 3 books, we teach 90% from these books only. I mean, whatever we teach, 90% of that is in these books. In class 8th, 9th and 10th. If you do them thoroughly and you just start doing our lectures, attending our lectures, you will understand it by yourself. Sir, तो वही पढ़ा रहे हो जो सब book में. The only thing is you guys have just lost all this somewhere because you have not brushed it up for a long time. Now today if I tell you that okay, no perfect square ends with 2, 3, 7 or 8, you will write it like a note. अरे सर ने बताया, लिख लेते हैं. It's an important thing. It is actually given in 8th class NCERT book. Go to cube and cube roots. They'll tell you how to calculate cubes, how to calculate squares. The squares are written, cubes are written. They use it so many times, so you will obviously be understanding, cramming all those values. Abhi if I ask you what is 18 square, you might fumble. Acha 324 tha ya 384, something like that, right? Once you have done these things, you'll be extremely comfortable with those. So why don't you do this? And I found this chapter extremely good. Visualizing shape. Are you able to visualize these shapes? कर पाते हैं आप? सोच के देखिए जरा एक बार. Can you visualize the shapes? If I tell you that okay, visualize a cube, ठीक है, and take out a corner, and from one of the corners take out 2 small cubes, from one of the corners take out 2 small cubes. Do you visualize this picture? Right? And the numbers are written on the remaining cubes. So how many cubes will have an odd number on the outside? Can you do that? They will make you visualize this, that okay, a picture is written and they are actually showing it through pictures. So therefore these things are extremely important. Visualizing shapes. Read the complete chapter. एक एक करके पढ़ो उसे. You will understand that okay, how do visualize things. If I tell you a cone is there, I cut it from the middle, then I cut it from the middle horizontally and then vertically. So now that portion which is left out, what kind of figure is that? Can you visualize this? I ask you, okay, calculate the surface area of that. You cannot probably visualize this. These kind of questions are there in these exams. Oh, sorry, in these NCERT books. Playing with numbers. This was such a good chapter I found that in playing with numbers, he was actually telling about some of the numbers that, okay, these numbers, there are some specific numbers when you do thrice of them, you get same digit, 4 times of that, you get same digit, 5 times of that, same digit. So some specific type of numbers, once you have gone through it, these questions, these numbers, when they are used in the questions, immediately after looking at that, you'll understand, ye to maine padha hua hai. These are those kind of numbers. There's a multiple of that number. You will understand it pretty well. I hope you're getting the idea. And these are basically talking about the complete basics of it. बिल्कुल basics के बारे में वो बात कर रहे हैं आपसे, right? They are talking about these things only. For example, they are talking about linear equations. So they are talking about how linear equations are formed. They will start it like, okay, there is a girl every day she purchases 5 toffees, right? Each toffee is costing her 2 rupees, right? And she has 50 rupees. But then she feels that if she purchases 3 toffees and after paying 50, what is left with her? If she purchases 4 toffees after paying 50, what is left with her? So she was understanding this 50 minus 2 times of 5, 50 minus 3 times of 5, 50 minus 4 times of 5. So she understood that if she does 50 minus 5 times of number of toffees, it's the kind of an equation that is formed. This is how linear equations are formed. And when you read this story, everything just gets inside your head. Okay, this is what a linear equation means. For us, if I say 2x plus 3y is 60, for us it's an equation in two variables x and y. That's it. Put the values of x and y and check it. Can you understand it this way, that 2x plus 3y means a number is multiplied by 2, a number is multiplied by 3. Every time x increases, the total will increase by 2. Every time y increases, the total will increase by 3. If I increase 2x by something, how much 3y should decrease such that I get 60? And this is from where slope comes. When these things are in an order na, you will understand the beauty of mathematics. अच्छा ये इससे ये बना है और फिर उससे ये बना, अच्छा उससे यहां पहुंचते हैं. Then I will understand. If I ask you, याद कर लो 2x plus 3y is equal to 60 के इंटीग्रल सॉल्यूशंस आर 60 डिवाइडेड बाय 2 into 3 minus 1. और अगर वो आपसे पूछे सीधे सीधे इंटीग्रल, तो उसमें प्लस 1 कर देना, नॉन नेगेटिव इंटीग्रल. सो अगर मैं फॉर्मूला बता रहा हूं, यू विल बी वेरी हैप्पी एट दैट टाइम, बट यू विल नॉट अंडरस्टैंड एनीथिंग. You make a change in the question, you won't be able to do anything then, right? So therefore these chapters are important, and when you start doing this from here, from class 8th, right, these are the chapters. There are around 16-17 chapters, and these are some of the initial chapters that I have written. So I was actually mesmerized by this. They are talking about visualizing shapes. I read that chapter myself and I actually found it brilliantly written. How they have made visualize, figures. Once you read it, you will be able to do that in the exam as well, obviously. Okay, another question. The product of 3 consecutive even natural numbers is always divisible by. A proper cat type question. Can you answer this? What will be the answer? The product of 3 consecutive natural numbers is always divisible by. Sheikh Imran, for LRDI, the basic thing is the puzzles. So today only I was doing Sudoku, so I went picked up that Delhi Times ka second page. I saw Sudoku ke alawa there were 4 more things were there. Anything that indulges your brain operations, your mind operations, start doing that. Play games on mobile in which some brain is involved, right? Do any activity in which brain is involved. Even if you are playing some outdoor games, play those activities in which some game is involved, some mind is involved. But do not do those things which are not using any part of your brain. So obviously those would not help you. LRDI is basically getting that machinery into work. Yes, Arvind, that is possible. You can contact me through Telegram channel of Gradeup. I would be there only. So you all are saying 2, huh? Should we learn about topically when even Suvarnil says 2, Kunal says 2, Gulab, Soni, Kalash, Akanksha, 8 says Suvarnil, Palak says 6. Okay. Product of 3 consecutive natural numbers is actually always divisible by 48. 2 into 4 into 6 is 48, right? And then 4 into 6 into 8, where 6 into 8 is 48. So basically whenever you take 3 consecutive even natural numbers, वो तीनों में 2 तो है ही ना, तो multiply करने में 2 becomes 8, right? One of them will be having 2 square as well. Whenever you take 3 consecutive numbers, 3 consecutive even numbers, at least one of them will be divisible by 4 as well. तो 16 का multiple हो गया. And one of them would be divisible by 3 as well. तो 48 का multiple हो गया. This is a question from appendix of class 9. Pure cat type question. No one has given a right answer to this question. It's an actual cat type question from NCERT book, guys. From NCERT book. And let me tell you, it has happened before as well. Cat has asked questions directly from NCERT. ये पहली बार नहीं हो रहा है कि वो पूछ लेंगे इस साल, वो पहले भी पूछते आए हैं. Look at the chapters. Oh, sorry, one more question. A right triangle ABC with sides 5, 12 and 13 is revolved about side 12 centimeter. Find the volume of the solid so obtained. This is considered to be an average level question, above average level question from CAT's perspective. ये CAT में आ चुका है. Such a question has appeared in CAT. It is from exercise 13.7 of class 9th NCERT book. Can you visualize this process? You will be able to do that once you do these chapters, right? What are the chapters of class 9? These are some of the chapters, and here again number system, linear equations. He has talked about linear equations again. He started in class 8. Here again linear equations. You must have seen that in the previous one, rational numbers. Here number system. Previous one, linear equations start हुई. यहाँ पे linear equation in two variables. Previous one, understanding the quadrilaterals. Here we have area of quadrilaterals, right? Previously it was basics of geometry, Euclid geometry. Here you have triangles, circles. Constructions पे there is a different chapter, that how do we construct, when do we construct. We always have this question. So geometry में पता ही लगता when do you make a construction, construct something. This tells you mathematical modeling. It is such a beautiful chapter, right? Mathematical modeling. Just go through it, guys, and you will understand what am I talking about. Okay. Probability started in class 9th itself. Many people actually told me, sir, probability was not there in our school time. It is possible probably in some other boards, CBSE or ICSE, it might not be there. I'm not very sure of that. But in NCERT book is class from class 9th only. This question, this is a difficult question from the perspective of CAT. And when I say difficult, it means difficult. The houses of a row are numbered consecutively from 1 to 49. Show that there is a value of x such that sum of the numbers preceding the house number x is equal to sum of the numbers of house following it. Find this value of x. It's a question of exercise 5.4 class 10th. It's a difficult question from CAT's perspective. I'm telling you again, this question is from class 10th NCERT, 5th chapter and 4th exercise. This question, a copper wire 3 mm in diameter is wound about a cylinder whose length is 12 and diameter 10 so as to cover the curved surface area. Find the length and mass of the wire assuming the density to be this. This question is difficult from the perspective of CAT. Difficult question. These are questions of class 10th NCERT exercise 13.5. Right? Why do we need coaching, guys? Seriously. Probably coaching is needed to have that discipline that, okay, other guys are doing it, so I should also be doing it. I should not lag behind. Plus, there are many things which are CAT specific, right? Which you might miss. Because 8th, 9th, 10th would not be doing that. There are many things in which we can say that, okay, this is how you can go ahead of the other people by taking some shortcuts or something. But as far as the fundamentals are concerned, you don't need any coaching for that. NCERT is the best coaching for you when you go through fundamentals of this. All fundamentals would be clear. Now look at the chapters here again. Real numbers. You remember? Rational numbers, number system, real numbers. They are talking about them one by one. Pair of linear equations in two variables. Linear equation in two variables, pair of linear equation in two variables. Quadratic equations are involved here. Coordinate geometry aa gayi, पिछले में भी थी. So here slightly above that. Triangles continued. पिछले में triangles था. Arithmetic progression comes over here. Trigonometry comes over here. Mathematical modeling is again continued over here. These all things are extremely important as far as we talk about CAT. And Mustafa is talking about profit loss. Mustafa, that comes in class 6th, 7th. When I talk about profit loss and discount ratios, proportion, ये तो 6th, 7th में आ जाते हैं. तो वहां से उसको prepare करना पड़ेगा if you want to go for that. Okay? Okay, guys. So now, one thing, I have taken one chapter number 1 of class 9th, I suppose, from number system, and here now I am going to talk about a bit more for 4 or 5 minutes that how are we going to read these chapters. Okay, कैसे पढ़ने वाले हैं हम लोग. So as I told you that because in school time it was there for us that school time में जो भी हमारे लिए शुरू होता था, we always start from exercise 1 or example 1 or something like that. Here the chapter 1 starts of class 9th NCERT book, which is talking about number system. How do you read? You have to read right from the first point, which is introduction. But yes, before starting with these, please keep this in mind. Appear for at least 2 or 3 actual CAT papers to get an idea what kind of questions CAT can ask, right? So if I am going slightly away from that, probably I can leave those areas, though I did not find any single topic in 8th, 9th and 10th NCERT, which is out of our area. Everything is inside it. All the questions would be asked from this particular ambit of these 3 years. Uni books mein se. Everything would be asked from that only. So when I am reading this chapter, so how do I read it? How do I start it? That's what I'm talking about now. Okay. Uday, actually mixtures is a part of ratios that will be there in 6th and 7th class only. Alligation is a specific formula which we use in our CAT coaching itself. So that would not be there in chapters. That is the only thing that I have found which is not there. Otherwise everything is there. Okay, so Amish Gupta, see, I cannot say it is not possible. I mean, as we say that if you do full hard work, everything is possible. Definitely everything is possible. Okay. Yes, Kalash, there would be enough. You take any of the 2 papers of 17 or 18 or 19 or 20, that will be sufficient for you. Okay, read this. In your earlier classes, so I mean, how are they teaching us? That is the important part here that I want to tell you. That what is he writing? In your earlier classes, you have learned about the number line and how to represent various types of numbers. Okay. Probably I know this. If I know this, I'll move forward. Just imagine you start from 0, go on walking along the number line in positive direction. So he's just visualizing, making you visualize everything. Okay, on the right hand side of 0, these are positive things. On the left hand side 0, these are negative things. Take, I understand. Next page. You might begin with picking up on natural numbers like 1, 2, 3 and so on. You know that this list goes on for every. Why is this true? So now your bag contains infinitely many natural numbers. This is represented by n. So they are saying when you are moving on a number line, 1 comes, 2 comes, 3 comes, 4 comes. That way you go on when you keep on picking them, right? These are infinite and their set is given by n. So by this line I have understood there are infinite natural numbers. This set of natural numbers is represented by n and they start from 1. 3 things clear ho gayi. Natural numbers 1 se shuru hote hain. There are infinite natural numbers and this set of natural numbers is represented by n. This is the first thing that we have understood here. Okay. Next. आगे बढ़ता हूं. Now turn and walk all the way back. This is आगे जा चुके थे. Let's come back and pick up 0. So pick 0 as well. Put it into the bag. You now have the collection of whole numbers which is denoted by W. So he has told us whole numbers में क्या है? Natural numbers के अलावा there is a 0 more because the bag was having natural numbers. We put a 0 more and this gives us all whole numbers which is represented by W. Okay. Now stretching in front of you are many negative integers. Put all the negative integers into your bag. What is your new collection? Recall this collection of all integers represented by Z. He says when you go on the other side you are getting negative numbers as well. He says put all of them into the bag. Positive पहले रख लिए थे. Then we kept 0. Positives were natural. 0 मिलाया. Whole बन गए. Negative वाले भी रख लिए. They all became integers. This is also giving me an idea that okay, every natural number is whole as well. Every whole number is an integer as well. The sets of these are represented by n, z and w. Okay, why z? This is GK. Z कहाँ से आया? मुझे भी अभी पता चला. Zehlan के whatever it is. Are there some numbers still left on the line? If you look at the line, कोई और number बचे हैं? Yes, there are numbers like 1 by 2, 3 by 4, even minus 2000, 5 by 2006. He says put all those numbers in the bag. उनको भी bag में रख लीजिए. And this is called the collection of rational numbers and it is represented by Q. That means integers are a part of rational numbers. See how beautifully he is making you visualize these things. That okay, when I am moving on the number line, I found natural numbers, then I found whole number 0, whole ban gaye, then I found the negatives, integers ban gaye, then I put the fractions as well, to rational ban gaye. So these are actually the subsets of each other. This is I am taking class 9th NCERT book. This is what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, what next? Then he says, you may recall the definition of rational numbers. Now this is the definition P by Q where Q is not equal to 0. Why do we insist Q is not equal to 0? You yourself figure it out. Search it on internet or something. कुछ करो उससे पता चलेगा आपको कि ऐसा क्यों होता है. P and Q are integers. This is important. Now he is talking about these. Read everything. Now comes example 1. You don't need to do these examples. Forget about these. Your job is to read this theoretical part and read this completely so that you can deduce everything from it. every damn thing. ठीक है, you can start making some notes of it, you can start highlighting the portions whichever you want, right? Read each and everything, even if it is important or not important, because many times you won't know whether it is important or not. Just highlight them. Okay, next. 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2 is not of my use. Not of my use. There are infinitely many rational numbers between any two given numbers. I can make a note of this. This is another thing that I have learned. What are the numbers that are on the left on the number line? How do we recognize them? This is not my chhod diya isko. So just we have read the theory in I think 10 to 15 minutes. This is how you do it. Keep on making notes alongside this, right? And guys, you have learned actually those things which you already do not know. You didn't know probably कि rational numbers integers होते हैं कि integers rational numbers होते हैं. If I immediately ask you, you'll have to think about it probably right now. That can I say every rational number is a whole number? You will think about it. Or can I say every whole number is a rational number? You will think about it. These things will make you clear. And when you make some notes, you write them by your hands. तब आपको खुद समझ में आ जाएगा वो क्या कह रहा है. And if you look at this language is so easy that probably you will understand it by yourself. है ना? अब शायद थोड़ा सा आपको आसान लगने लगेगा. हाँ, these things can be done. These are possible. Okay. I take a question. Is it enough to solve 9th and 10th math books to get all major fundamentals? Sheetal, I would say 8th, 9th, 10th, enough for sure. I failed in BSc exam, but I scored 78 percentile in CAT. What do I do next? I am very disappointed for my future. Oh, don't be disappointed. Getting failed in BSc is not such a, bad thing that you have to be disappointed for that. Appear for it again. हाँ, probably this year you cannot do for CAT, but anyway 78 percentile पे बहुत अच्छा कॉलेज नहीं मिलता. Appear for BSc again, complete it next year, get 98 percentile, go into an IM. What is to be disappointed यार? Disappoint करने का तो लाइफ में कुछ भी नहीं है. हाँ जी, let's move forward. Now we got exercise 1. I am not asking you to do these exercises, guys. You can leave them or you can just read them once. If you know everything, leave them. Because our purpose is not to appear for the exams of 8, 9, 10. We just want to understand the concept. समझ गए हो? ये सब पता है, छोड़ दो. Move to irrational. But पढ़ो ये सब पूरा. We saw in the previous section that there may be numbers on the number line, so they are not rationals. In this section, we are going to investigate these numbers. So far, all the numbers you have come across are of this form. So you may ask, these numbers which are not of this form, these are indeed such numbers. So basically, he's saying the numbers which are not of this form, P by Q form. P by Q form were rational. Which are not of these form, these are called irrational. और यहाँ पे पाइथागोरस भाई साहब का फोटो है and he is telling you something about irrational numbers. Read it. कोई बात नहीं, it's a story. You can read it. You'll understand. And then he gives a definition. A number S is called irrational if it cannot be written in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers. We got the definition of irrational from this. Move ahead. You already know that there are infinitely many rationals. It turns out there are infinitely many irrational numbers too. तो ये भी infinite है. And this is what I was talking about, guys. ये आ गया ना? Root 4 is equal to 2, though both 2 and minus 2 are square roots of 4. And this is a remark, but this is a very important concept. Let me tell you, I have been teaching many kids. Many IITians make a mistake while doing this. IITians, NSITians or DCE students. Many common students I have seen which are making this mistake. Many people, right? And this is a thing which is in 9th class NCERT book, but people make a mistake here, right? So I am saying just read these things. This will give you an idea what kind of rational numbers are there. And then he says this is a complete bag. Everything is there. Rational, irrational, integer, whole, natural. This is called R. What is R? R is the set of real numbers, which is what he is talking about. And it is written over here as well, right? Move forward. Then he says, how do I write root 2 on a number line, root 3 on a number line? So can't ask you this question? Obviously not. If you want to do it for your own knowledge, do it. Otherwise, leave it. As I told you, you can leave the examples. Your purpose is to understand. You don't want to spend more time. You just want to understand the theory of each and everything. It should be clear in your mind कि rational क्या है, irrational क्या है, उसके क्या-क्या parts होते हैं. So we have to read the theory. We have to read only some of the examples in which I feel that I can learn something. I'm not going to do the exercises. For my practice, I might do this. I just learned what is curved surface area. There are 2-3 questions on curved surface area. Let's try them, right? For that purpose, you can do. Otherwise, these things are not needed. Don't waste your time on such things. So exercise 1.2 comes. I am not saying do this exercise. Don't do this. This is not your job. Okay? Your job is to understand the concept. Have you understood the concept? Yes. Forget about it and then move on to the next one, that is real numbers and their decimal expressions. Right? I hope you have understood exactly what I am trying to say. How do you read these books? The purpose is not to do them completely. Purpose is not to write the exam again. The purpose is just to understand the concept. Nothing else is to be done. Okay, guys? So that's all. I hope you have understood whatever I am trying to say, how to read these books, how to read the chapters. And trust me, I am repeating again. I have written CAT 18-19 times. I have scored 100 percentile in QA, LRDI as well. I have been scoring 99.99 for last 7-8 years. Therefore, I am telling you by my experience, because I have scored this, I can tell you these 3 books are everything for your quantitative ability. Read them thoroughly, each and every chapter, every theoretical part of it. Make notes. And then if you join some coaching, in every class you would be answering before the other people. That's a bet. The only important part is the application part of it, on which you have to do some practice then. And not some, rather many, a lot of practice. But that should be done in 3-4 months at the end. So in yesterday's session, I talked about that schedule. Read these books first, then go through the concepts. I'm definitely sure that you would like these topics as well, which is more important for you कि हमें क्वांट पसंद तो आना शुरू हो, वरना कैसे काम चलेगा.